My dear students, thank you. So I'm going to take over from here. Of course, every now and then, Dr. Watson will also jump in with his own inputs as well, for which I am grateful. So today, I'm on my seventh part of my ongoing series on freelancing for beginners. So I have the presentation already on the screen. Now, as you can see from the number, this is part 7, and I believe the previous episodes are available to watch from your student dashboard. And if I'm not wrong, on the YouTube channel as well. I can see Dr. Watson is nodding, so that is correct. So there you go. So, my dear students, so last time when the discussion was on, where I stopped, I'm just going to quickly look into that here. So where I stopped was I was speaking and discussing about setting your prices as a freelancer, especially a new freelancer. And I was in the middle of talking about how do you bid for projects and responding to client hire requests. So that is what I am going to continue today as well. So now, this is exactly the point where I stopped in the previous session. So I have about 45 minutes to spend time with you, wherein I'll give you whatever I have learned as a freelancer myself. Those of you who are new, I want you to understand that I'm a freelancer. Like, I've been only freelancing for the last 11 years. I haven't held a day job. So that is why I believe I'm the right person to speak about this. One more thing, some of you may notice a little bit of background getting lighter and darker. I don't know what that is. There is some power fluctuation going on in my apartment building. I think they're working on it. I do have in India, we have these things called UPS. I don't think that's there in America, but in India, we do have some power cuts. So we have these systems called UPS, which gives us electricity when the main power supply cuts off. So today they're acting up. So it looks like a horror movie. Sorry about that. I have no way of fixing it. So you'll just have to work with me on that. Okay, enough about the horror movie stuff. But if you see something creeping behind me, do let me know so I can run away or something. Okay, so setting up your prices and setting up your walkaway price. Now, what is that, guys? Now, please understand that even if you are a new freelancer, okay, even if you're a new freelancer, you still have bills to pay. You have worked hard to acquire your skills, and you do have your own reputation, whatever it might be. It might be a small reputation, it might be a big reputation that tells you that there is a certain minimum amount that you are worth. Okay, if you can't think of that minimum amount, then the simplest way is, what is the minimum amount you need to have, if not to make a profit, but just to keep the lights on in your workplace. So I'm talking the cost of your electricity, the cost of your food, the cost of your medical bills, stuff like that, cost of your rent. So at any given point of time, you should be able to at least make enough money to pay for these things. Because if you're working for less than this price, that literally means you are paying the client money for doing work for him or her. So you don't want to be in such a situation. So it is okay that sometimes you work for less profit or even zero profit, but you shouldn't be working for less than cost. So that is what I mean by the walk away price. So when you're talking to a client, let's say, again, I like to use the example of article writing, because that is something a lot of people start their freelancing in. That is where I got my freelancing career kicked off as well. Although I was already a highly skilled developer and a highly skilled marketing guy, when I jumped into freelancing 11 years ago, in the beginning, just to get a taste of what freelancing is, how it works and all that, just to get the ropes of the system, I started with article writing. Luckily, I was also pretty good in English, so I was able to get into the article writing game and make some money in the beginning, early days of my career. So even then, there was a walk away price. So that is what here I'm talking about. So let's say if you know that in a day you have to make at least $30 to justify being in the game of freelancing, then there you go. $30 is your walkaway price. So if a client gives you enough work, but then the client says, hey, I can only give you $20, then maybe that's not a work you want to take, all right? And at that point, you can literally tell the client, like, hey, man, look, I'm walking away from this because it's not fair. You know, you want your client to use your services, but not misuse you or your services. So that is very important, guys. So that is what I mean by walking away price. But, but if you are for some reason wealthy, or if you have somehow maybe borrowed some money, then it is okay to work at a lower price as a marketing cost. So there is such a thing called as marketing cost, guys. Like I mentioned in the previous session or something, that I have my own company here in Bangalore. So sometimes we provide services almost for free. Now, that could be thought of as, hey, he's giving away free stuff. But as far as we are concerned, as the owners of the company, we put that under marketing cost. So you have to differentiate between the marketing cost and then the walking away price. The marketing cost is an expense. You're like, okay, you're going to give away about, say, $500 worth of free stuff. So that is not nothing to do with your walk away price. So you're okay with giving away $500 worth of free work, and that's all right. But after that $500 of marketing cost has been spent, then you have to start making money. So that is what I'm really talking about here. So that is the walkaway price. But we actually discussed a lot in the previous session. So I'm going to quickly move on from here. Dr. Watson, is that clear, sir? The walkaway price and why it is so important for a beginning freelancer. Okay, okay.
Everything is
Dr.
super
Watson
clear.
says
Yeah.
that part is clear. Thank you, Dr. Watson. I can recognize Dr. Watson full smile all the time. So I'm gonna just move on from there. Okay. All right, guys. This is something, I mean, everything I talk about is important, but this thing is very specific to Upwork. So what I would like the students to do here is make sure you have your pen and paper ready a little bit. I have my pen and paper as well, because we'll be doing some calculations today. So this is something which affects only if you're on Upwork. And I assume by now, those of you who are coming back for the repeat sessions, you already have trying to get on Upwork or already have an account and things like that. So let's jump into this feature in Upwork called Upwork Connects. Okay. So I have mentioned this in my previous session, but today I'm going into a little bit deeper. All right. So let me go back to my computer here, and then let me quickly log into my Upwork account, and I tell you what this Upwork Connect is all about. And it plays a very, very important role when you're getting work on Upwork, guys. So let me just quickly stop my sharing here. And then let me go into this one here. Let me just stop the sharing. Hold on. And now let me log into my work account. Let me go into my profile here, and let me quickly bring it up. So where is my connect balance? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my profile, and then I'm going to go to my connects. Hold on. Let's see here that I see, that's the thing. I'm already logged in, so it doesn't always show everything. So let me see. Connects, connects, connects. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Find work. There it is. Aha. Okay. Connects. Okay. Once again, I'm sharing my screen again. What I want to show you is this is what you'll normally see. Professor Watson, are you able to see my Upwork website here, sir? Okay, guys, so I'm going to go away from the PPT. I'll go back to it in a minute. Now, on the right side here, you'll see that I have the connect balance. I'm taking a marker as well. Dr. Watson, are you able to see my marking, sir? Okay. Now, you'll see, guys, that I have 800 connects. That's actually a lot. The reason is, I think I told you guys, because I'm an established freelancer, I don't actually apply for projects. People just find me. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm not trying to make anybody jealous. Okay. So the thing is, every month, because I am a paid member, I think I talked about this in the third or fourth session, that when you join Upwork, there is an Upwork membership that you should buy. It's roughly about $15 per month. It's totally worth it, by the way. It has a lot of benefits. One of those benefits is that every month you get these connects. Okay. Now, connects is like a currency. I hope you're making a note of this, my dear students. So connects is like a currency on the Upwork platform. So if it is a currency, how exactly do you use it? And of course, I have way too many connects, but I don't think everybody will have so many. How, why should you be careful about it? So let's find out, guys. So let me again continue with my this one here. Let's go ahead and clear out the markings. Now, again, what I want to do here is, let's say that I am a yoga instructor. Okay, I'm just saying I'm not a yoga instructor, although I do have the looks for it. Maybe I should try it. I'll try it some other time, maybe in the future. So let me go into this job. So let's say I am a yoga instructor and I am thinking of applying for this job. All right. Now you'll see something here. Now this is the standard stuff like the address, all those things. But then if I scroll down here, I can see if I click on, if I get, let me get my marker again. Dr. Watson, just help me out here, professor. Do you see that it says that you need to have 4 connects to apply for the job? Do you see that, professor? Yes, yes. Now, further, one more thing I want you guys to notice is, so let's say if I click on apply, something very unusual happens here. Okay. So I have the profile and it's all great. It tells me how many connects I'll have after I bid for the project. But what is really curious is if I scroll down, you'll see that nobody else has bid for this project. But if I want to, I can bid extra connects. Okay, so let me show you how that works. So let me keep this open. Let me go to something which is a little bit older. So let me click on this tutor, how many, something which is a little bit older. There it is. There, this one, English voice recording. Now I can try that. So let's say if I go here, and once again, now do you see, professor? It says 8 connects.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. So there are some projects which will ask for 4 connects, some projects which will ask for 8 connects, and I have seen projects which ask for 16 connects just to apply. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So currency, right? So this is like a currency on the Upwork website. So I have about 810 connects. And if I apply for that yoga thing, that's -4. And if I apply for this English voice recording something, then I will lose 8 connects. So if I apply for 10 jobs in a day, which is very, very likely when you're new, you're actually spending anywhere from 40 to 80 connects simply to apply for the job. So again, I hope you have your pen and paper and you're doing the math along with me. But hold on, there is a catch. And what is that catch? The catch is if I scroll down here, you will see that if I click on this apply button, and if I scroll down, you'll see that other people, if you want to, you can pay extra, right? So even though the minimum connect is 8, you can pay 8 plus 10. So 18 connects to end up as the highest bidder.
I would like to
Does that
apologize to
make sense,
you.
sir?
I would like to apologize to you, Dr. J. I should remember all the details which you have provided in freelancing parts 1 through 6. But I am a little lost when it comes to the connects. How do we get the connects? Do we purchase them? I forgot.
Right. So I was just about to come to that, Professor. So I'll answer
Okay.
the question in a minute, sir. So remember, folks, so when you're applying, there is the minimum amount that you have to spend from your Connect balance. Plus, when you apply for a job, there may be 20 other people. So it's like a long list. So there is like a bidding system, like you're bidding for a position or bidding for something precious in an auction or something. So if you want, you can pay extra. So 8 is the minimum plus 10 extra. So 18 connects, and you might end up in the top 4 position. So let's say today somebody is bidding without any extra bonus thing. So they might be the first person to bid, but you come tomorrow and then you bid not with 8 connects, but 25 connects or something. Then because you have spent more connects, your name might end up in the first or second or third position. So it's almost like you're auctioning, you're reserving a spot because you're willing to spend more money. So let's say today, this one, I guess nobody else is interested right now in the extra things, but usually when you go to Upwork, you'll see some things. I'm trying to find it. I'm not able to find it today. Let me try something which has, there it is. 27 proposals. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the one. Maybe this is the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's look at this. And here, if I click on apply, and if I scroll down, look at that, 16 connects. There you go, Professor. I was just talking about it. 16 connects for this job. 4, 8, 16. And then if you scroll down, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Somebody has spent 31 connects. Another guy has spent 30 connects, 828. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about. So if you only pay the minimum connect, then your name will be maybe the last name in the list. So the more connect you're willing to spend, the higher is your chance in the list. Now, please understand, it doesn't mean the client will not see your bid. It simply means that you are like further down the queue. Like in real life, what happens, right? Like when I search for something on Amazon, I usually just buy whatever comes up in the top 5 or something. So similarly, when a client is trying to hire a freelancer, they might not scroll past the top 5 bidders. So this is how the connect currency on Upwork works. So if you're desperate, or if you're well funded, maybe you have sufficient money, then it may be worth your money to buy connects. Now, Professor Watson is asking, how do you buy connects? Now, that's very straightforward, folks. So if I go back to my Upwork account, you'll see here, Professor, right next to the number of connects on my main page, sir. On the main page, if I scroll down below my profile name and all this, right next to the connect number, there is a button called Buy Connects. And the connects actually cost a lot of money, sir. Let me just click on that button. I hope it doesn't automatically buy because my card is saved. So let me just look at that 1 second, sir. Let me just see that it won't. I don't think they'll automatically. Let me just see, sir. So let me just click on buy connects. They're going to give me an option. So there you go, guys. So how much does this cost today? It says here that 10 connects is $1.77. Dr. Watson, you have a question, sir?
No, I just
Oh,
realized that you are very
guys,
wealthy
there you
because
go.
you
So
have
connects.
811 connects.
There you go, sir. Yes, sir. I have 800 connects. Yes, sir. I don't spend it. As I said, I usually just, clients just come in somehow. I guess I'm lucky. I guess. So there you go, guys. So this is how you spend connects. Now, how do you do the math, guys? So think about it this way. If you're just going to apply for jobs, okay, if you're just going to apply for jobs, usually jobs are from 4 to 8 to 16 connects. Okay, so every day I tell people, when you're new and you're looking for work, you have to apply for at least 10 jobs. So let's take the average. So 8 connects is the average. So 10 jobs, that's 80. Now, minimum 80 you have to spend every day. So 80 connects means roughly $15. So there you go. That is how much you'll spend every day. I know that sounds scary, but it is what it is, guys. There's no escaping it. Okay. But don't forget, this is only the bare minimum. So if you want to be in the top 5 or something, then you have to spend at least double or triple of that. So 80 into 3 is 240. And that's roughly $45 per day. So if you're looking at expenses, Every day you can expect yourself to spend anywhere from $15 to $45 just looking for a job. And I'm sorry, I know some of you might be thinking, wow, that sounds scary. It is, guys. I'm really sorry. I think I say this in every session. If you want to make money, you have to spend it. That's the reality of life. Okay. Now, if you're thinking, is there no way out of this? Again, I'm just giving you ideal figures. Some of you might be able to spend less, some of you might be able to spend more. But this expense you cannot escape. I remember when I was younger and new on Upwork, I was borrowing a lot of money, just to get connects. It's like you are paying your due or something to society. I mean, not society, to Upwork. Before, once you, but of course, as I told you, it's not like it's something you do for like forever. As you saw with my own example, I have some 800 connect just sitting there. I don't use it. I don't have to, right? So once you have enough reputation, once you have enough reviews under your belt, then customers will just find you. They will message you, and things like that. Oh, the best example is AIU found me. So, they message me. So again, when the client messages you, there's no need to spend any connects because the client has already found you. So life becomes easy. Same thing with my other client. The guy just found me. So, so there you go, guys. It's not all very sad news, but in the beginning, I'm sorry. You will have to spend some money on the connects, and the rates keep changing and all that. So you need to keep an eye out for it. Sometimes they'll send you some emails, some discounts, some offers, some coupons, and things like that. So it's not all bad news, but there's no escaping the fact that in the beginning your freelancing cost will be a little bit on the higher side. So that's the story about Connect. That's what I wanted to say with my PowerPoint. Was there any questions or was that clear, sir, before I move on to the next topic?
That's very, very clear. Thank you very much, Dr. Jay.
Okay, excellent, guys, excellent. So yeah. So let me power up my PowerPoint, guys. So let me just get my PowerPoint. Move on to the next slide here. Okay, so what I was talking about is now this is something which I want to do before I go to the next slide. How do you balance, going crazy with your connect spending? I know that sometimes you get desperate and you're like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna buy some 1,000 connects and just spend like a $200 or something. And you might feel that way because it seems like after spending all that connect, clients are not responding to you, they're not talking to you, they're not even inviting you for an interview. It happens a lot. Now, what do I do? Let me give you some best practices. You know how people say online best practices and all. So let me share some best practices of what I used to do, or even now, like if suddenly if my clients all disappear, I have to go back to the marketplace and find a job, and I have to spend my connects. So what do I do? Step number one, well, best practice number one. Okay, again, I hope you guys are making notes. One thing is only apply if the job is right for you. Okay, so I'm going to write it down here on my notebook as right job. What do you mean by the right job, guys? It's very easy, right? Like, for example, I am a tutor, I'm a life coach, I'm a business consultant. So if the job specifically says, hey, I am looking for a tutor for a university student because that is my specialty. So I look for those things. Like if somebody says online, like, hey, I'm on Upwork, it says, we are a parent, we are parents, we are looking for a son who is in university and is struggling with computer science, specifically programming. Now that matches with exactly what I do. So if I apply for that job, there is a good chance by looking at my profile, my reviews, my award from Microsoft, and by Googling my name or something, even the guys who are looking for somebody, there's a good chance they will reply to me. So I have to spend the connect anyway, but it makes sense that I spend it on the right job. So that's the first step, spend it on the right job where you feel Everything matches. Don't just apply because you're desperate. Don't just apply because you're, the description is vague and you think you might be able to do it. No, no, no. That is a complete waste of money. Second thing, what you have to do is fix a daily limit. Okay. So the second thing to do is fix a daily limit. So another thing which I do when I'm looking for a job on Upwork is I tell myself that, okay, I'm not going to spend more than 20 to 30. I give myself a range because, like I'll tell myself like, okay, Jay, I won't spend more than 20 to 30 connects in a day. So whatever happens. So when I get up in the morning, when I'm looking for work, I sit down and what I do is, in computers, you can right click. You have an option called open in new tab. Very, very simple trick. So when you see a job that interests you, right click, open a new tab, scroll down, right click, open a new tab, open all the jobs that you think you can do, but open them in a separate tab, just keep them open and then go through them one by one. Okay. Look at the number of connects, like some of them are 4, some of them are 8, some of them are 16. Sit and study them. Don't be in a rush. And then whenever you feel something is really good, make a list like out of 8 jobs that day. Okay, I have 30 connect to spend. I can apply for 4 jobs. So 8 into 4. Okay, all right. So I have 10 jobs which are open on my computer, and I'm going to select best of 4 where I feel I'll be a good fit. So put a limit to yourself. So you're like, okay, I'm not gonna spend more than 30. So let's say in a week, I work for 5 days. So in a month, that is 5 into 4, 20. So 20 into 30 equals 600 connects. Now, I don't think you'll have to wait a month to get work. Still, though, just for sake of argument. So, okay, 600 connects. That's roughly about 15 into, I think, 5. So $75. Okay, so your monthly budget for connects is, I don't know, let's make it a round figure, $100. Okay. So every month in the beginning, you tell yourself that you are going to spend in the beginning of the month or every Monday, every week, a total of $100 and just buy some 600 connects and just keep it in your account. And every day you pick the best jobs and only apply within your limit. Now, if you're somebody who has more money, sure, have a higher limit. If you're somebody who has less money, then have a lower limit, guys. Balance it. I think this is where people use the word calibrate. Calibrate yourself depending on how much money you can spend on connects. And I'll tell you one more thing. You don't have to buy connects every time, okay? Because once you start getting orders, when you buy connects, Upwork will deduct the money directly from your account. So it is still your money, but at least it's not going from your credit card. Now, why is this important? This is important because I don't know how many of you are from America. I'm sure some of you are not from America. The US dollar is the strongest currency in the world. So once the money is going from your local currency to Upwork.com, it's actually costs a lot of money compared to the money being deducted automatically. Dr. Watson, does that make sense, sir? What I'm trying to say here? There you go. So remember, guys, when you pay with your own credit card or something, you are actually paying banking fees, card fees, currency conversion fees. And remember, because the United States dollar is so strong, you are actually spending more money and getting less. But if you already have some payments, you know what I do, guys? I'll show you right now. I don't think I can show that because it's my personal money balance. But what I do is I always make sure when I withdraw money from Upwork after all the payments, I always keep some $20 or $50 or $100. I just leave it there. I never withdraw the last $50 or $100 so that in case I have to make some payments, I have to issue some refunds, I have to buy some connect, let that money get deducted from within Upwork. So these are some best practices on how you can balance spending money on connects. Okay, spending connects, buying connects, and spending real money to buy those connects. And as I mentioned before, if you get the Upwork subscription, you get some free, some 60 or 80 connects. I think that's what my balance is. Every month I have that payment plan, and they keep adding the connects. And because I never spend it, the balance has become so big. So there you go, my dear students. So that is how you do with the connecting. So we are going away from connect, and next I'm going to talk about how to make sure you actually get a call back from your customers. So before I go to that topic, Professor Watson, any questions about the connect or anything like that, sir, you want me to delve deeper? Dr. Watson says it's all good. All right, guys, I'm just going to take a sip here.
The only thing I would like to add, if you allow me, before we get lost into this, there is a question that came up on the chat line a short while ago, and if you don't mind to get into there and make some clarification, the participant was referring to AI, artificial intelligence, and the question that is from Tom Kisembo Mugisa, he's saying that how will freelancing survive artificial intelligence, AI, and related innovations in the next, say, 5 to 10 years or longer from now? We're talking about the evolution of AI, or artificial intelligence, and the implication is that people might not need so much the service of freelancers. Again, the question is, how would AI kind of overlap of freelancing? How would freelancing survive the development of AI throughout the world? Dr. J.
Okay. Dr. Watson, now that is a complex question.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And I believe that is something we have touched upon because we did do a couple of sessions on AI. But
mm-hmm,
because it has come up, I will answer it, sir. And I'm okay if there are any follow-up questions as well, because it is important to talk about it. So let me give a response right away, Professor.
okay.
Now, obviously, Professor, you trust me to speak the truth. So the truth is not
Yeah.
always pleasant. So I have to be honest, though. So first thing is, Professor, yes, I fully believe, as a computer developer, as a coding teacher, and as a freelancer, a business person, yes, sir, AI will sadly take away some jobs. There is no beating around the bush about it. Because, Professor, I myself, even though I myself am a freelancer, I have already been using AI. The moment it came, I grabbed it, I paid money for it. And I've been using it in my daily life constantly. And in many cases, the AI is able to do work that an intern might be able to do, a freelancer might be able to do. Something that would have taken like half a day has been finished by AI in 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So, yes, for the audience, for others who might watch the recording later, at the risk of scaring you, I want you to know that AI will and is already
Yeah.
taking away a lot of work that used to be done by freelancers. I speak of this from personal experience. And as a guy who's paying money to use AI. So I am speaking as a consumer, and I'm a freelancer as well. Now, one thing you have to understand, Professor, is whether it is AI or any technology, Professor. Like, I like to use the example of Professor, I'm sure you use Uber. Yes, sir. You
Yes.
use Uber.
Yeah.
There you go. So, guys, 5 years ago, I'm talking about India. 5 years ago, I think there was no Uber in India. What did we used to do? Whenever we want to take a rickshaw or
Mm.
something, we'll go to the road, we'll go down to the street, stand and wave our hand and hope that somebody comes. Right? That's what we did in India. I'm sure people can relate to that.
It's a good
But
exchange.
thanks to Uber and similar apps in our country, I can sit inside the house, I can be drinking some coconut water, which I'm doing right now, or watching a movie or whatever it is that I'm doing while I wait, and then wait for the cab to come in front of my house. Now, what happened there? Instead of spending 10-20 minutes on the street, I'm able to use those 10-20 minutes to get some work done. While a cab driver whose ID card, car, everything has been checked and verified, hopefully safer, is coming in front of my house. So what happened there? So something similar is happening with AI. Now there are some things which used to be done manual. So all AI is doing is taking up all that manual stuff and then kind of taking care of it in an automated fashion. An example is right now I'm working for a client where I'm helping them build some learning systems in coding. And we have to do things like building assessments, building assignments, building quizzes, building content, all these things. In the older days, we would have hired a freelancer to do it. But now we are doing it ourselves by using AI because the work has become so simple, we don't need a human anymore. Now, what does this mean, guys? It means, yes, a freelancer is not going to get that money. But at the same time, isn't this how the world always works? You have something and something better comes and you can't escape it. Like today, I'm talking to you. 5 years ago, same session, I would be speaking to you in some old laptop camera, looking all grainy, with a poor microphone and all that. But today, I have the iPad, the screen is good, I look good, the microphone is good, the speaker is good, everything is good, 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 good. So that's just how technology works, guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, should you be scared? Yes. Did it come without any warning? That's true. Nobody told us this was coming so fast. But now is your chance, my dear students. Okay. Try to go ahead and learn things which AI cannot do. The AI which is taking away your jobs, use the same AI to learn new things. That's the only thing you can do. I'm a freelancer as well. But of course, I do very, very complex work, which hopefully AI can't do right now, but it might be able to do it 10 years from now. So it's like a challenge now. I have to make sure that I become better than the AI. It's like a challenge, like everything else in life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I can say, Professor. Like it is here, it's not going away.
Yeah.
We can either spend time being afraid about it, or we can embrace it and use the same AI to make ourselves better. But I know saying that doesn't make a lot of people's life better, but I don't, I mean, this is too big for me to say anything, Professor. So that's the best response I can come up with, sir.
Yes,
If you have
it's
any
very
questions,
clear.
let me know, sir. I'll try to. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next slide.
Thank you very much. May I proceed, Dr. J?
Okay, I'll move on, guys. If you have more questions, you can ask at the end of the session, or you can just message me. We can talk about it, guys, but it's not going anywhere. So you might as well just accept it. So anyway, so moving on to the next slide. So next thing I want to talk about is now I mentioned this before, guys, that once you start bidding for projects, or once you get a reply from the customer, what should you do? And that is what I like to call communication etiquette. Okay, now some people are not trying to demean anybody, but some people may not understand the word etiquette. Even I did not know what the word etiquette was till I was 22. So, what is etiquette? Etiquette means a set of good things that you can do to get the best response from whoever you're working with. Now, that is how I like to define this word. So, communication etiquette means I'm focusing on video calls. Now, this is something that has helped me a lot in my career. So, whenever I put a bid on Upwork, or whenever a customer replies on Fiverr, or in real life, I always tell them, hey guys, thank you for responding to my application. Please let me know when you want to speak to me on a video call. Okay. I always say this in all my messages on LinkedIn, on email, when I meet customers in real life, and definitely on Upwork, definitely on Fiverr. I always tell them I am available to speak on a video call. Now you have to understand, guys, majority of work for you is going to come from United States, Europe, UK, Australia, sometimes Canada. But I haven't gone too many customers from Canada. So I'm going to limit myself to America, which is US, UK, Europe, and Australia. Okay. Now you have to understand, guys, at least in my opinion, the developed countries, for whatever reason, they like to see you. They like to see you, they like to talk to you, and that's very important to them. Why? I don't know. I am not from America, but I watch a lot of movies. I work with all my clients are from US and UK, so they like video calls. So when you tell them the very first line, when you reply to them, you tell them, "Hello, I'm Jay. Please let me know when you want to have a Zoom video call. Please let me know when you want to have a Teams video call." Whatever it is, tell them you're open to a video call. Very, very simple. The moment you tell that, for some reason that seems to give them a confidence. Maybe it's because they can see you, maybe it's because they can hear you, or maybe they feel, okay, this guy is willing to show his face, it's a sign of trust. There could be many reasons for it, but the best way for you to make sure when you apply for a job, you're spending all that connect and all, right? So you have to make sure to at least get a response even if you don't get selected. I found out in my experience, making sure that they know that you are available for a video call always seems to make a big difference. So that's the first thing about communication etiquette, video calls. Now, moving on to the next thing. Now, emails. Now, I already told you until you have a contract, you're not supposed to share your email address with your client. So, this is like when they hire you. Okay. So, emails is again very, very important. Now, here, one thing I want to add is I've seen some freelancers, they have many, many email addresses. Please stop doing that. Have one email address and please make sure you check it at least once in 24 hours. Now, some of you may be thinking, wow, this is such a basic advice. Why should I take this advice from Jay? The reason is so many people don't even know how to use email. So many people don't even know how to check it or reply to it or whatever. I don't know, guys. Okay. And also, I'm from India. I'm from the olden days, before the internet. I actually took a course about letter writing for a year. I think that is why my emails are so beautiful. So I'm not saying you should take a course on letter writing, but if you can write good letters, I promise you, clients absolutely love it. I don't know why. Okay. I write really long letters, like 1 page, 2 page, half a page, very detailed with all the details and everything. And for some reason, clients are very happy. I've seen every client tell me, Jay, you know what? You write the best emails. And they actually read it. And that's cool. And as I said, make sure you have the same email. Now, why is that important? You see, guys, sometimes I've seen this happen to me many times. I get customers who I've forgotten like 5 years ago or something. They email me and they tell me they have a new project. Now, if I keep changing my email every year, every 2 years, they won't be able to reach me, can they? So, very important, email and phone number. Again, phone number is not that important because clients usually don't call because I'm in India. I don't think they're going to make an international phone call. Nobody does that, but they will send an email. So make sure you maintain email, check email, reply to email, and if possible, nothing wrong in taking a course on letter writing. Of course, today we have AI. AI can write email for you, but you know what, guys? I'll tell you this. People can usually tell when AI wrote the email for you, and it actually becomes a little insulting to send an AI written letter. So, as much as possible, try to write the letter with your own hands. Okay, you should use AI, but everything there should be a limit. Okay, just because I like coconut water doesn't mean I drink 5 liters of it. I feel sick. So there you go, guys. Use whatever it is in moderation. Don't overdo something just because AI is there. You use it for everything. And then why should they need you then? So make sure you use AI in moderation. But yes, communication etiquette, emails. So next thing in communication etiquette, messaging. Okay, so once your contract is in place, or even before that, you'll mostly be communicating with your client through the messaging. Like Upwork has a messaging feature, Fiverr has a messaging feature. Once you're hired, they'll give you Discord access, they may give you Teams access. Some people like to even use WhatsApp for work. I don't like it, but I know some clients use it. So again, with messaging, just like email, make sure you reply. Usually clients expect you to reply within an hour or two during business hours. I'm not saying you should reply to them like in the middle of the night or something like that. So try to reply as soon as possible. And whatever happens, please don't forget to reply. I do a lot of freelance coaching here in India, and my God, so many people, they look at a message. You know how in messaging apps, when you read a message, they know like there's a blue color or a green color or something. So the customer knows you saw their message, but then you forget to reply. It's amazing how often that happens. Don't be that kind of freelancer. It's very insulting to anybody, especially a client who's paying you money, when you don't reply to their messages. That's very scary. But by the time you wake up in the morning, you'll see that there's a termination email, the contract is terminated, and you have to give a refund. And you lost a review, and you lost a client, all because you did not have the patience and common sense to reply to a messaging. So never forget that. Don't insult your customer. Okay, you can ignore your friends' messages, family messages, I don't care. But client, don't do that. Okay, so that's the communication etiquette thing. And before next thing, I want to talk about time zones. But before I go to that, Professor, any questions or anything about the communication etiquette with video calls, emails, and messages?
No, personally, I'm doing fine. I don't have any question on that particular aspect of your presentation, Dr. J.
Okay, okay. Guys, I think we are out of time then. So I think I'll have to stop here. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna stop here. I'll continue with from here in the next one. So go, that was the last slide. Professor, let me wrap it up then. Let me just wrap this up because that's the last slide I had. So, guys, the last topic for the day, time zones. Now, some of you might be thinking, again, this is so common, right? Time zones. You have no idea. I have lost clients. I am very disciplined, highly organized, and maybe even above average intelligence and all that. But still, I have lost clients because of time zone confusion. Now, what is time zone confusion? I'll tell you this. This happened last week. On November 5th, the United States changed its time zone. America does these things. There's nothing you can do about it. I usually have a session at 7:30 India time. But then, November 5th, the session changed to 8:30 India time. Now, I didn't know it. So I was online and I kept messaging Dr. Walson, sir, where are you? 1 hour before. Actually, it was 1 hour plus 20 minutes. Now, that's okay because I was early. But what if it was the opposite and you're 1 hour late? And the client is thinking, where is this Indian guy? What happened to him? I'm paying him money. I listen to his boring jokes and he's not even here. Fire that guy. Give him a negative review and take a refund. That's what happens, guys. Time zones. So, how can you solve the time zone problem? Step number one, be aware of time zones, be aware of daylight saving and things like that. Always ask the customer because the customer always knows. So Professor Watson is already in America. So whenever I talk to him like casually or outside the session, I'll ask him, Professor, what's going on with the daylight timing zone? When is it changing? Just casually just bring it up. And usually the client will tell you. Second option, use an online calendar. Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, or any online calendar service, they all automatically adjust your time zone without you doing anything. So you don't have to do anything, guys. Just use an app for everything. Okay. Third option is there are a lot of websites which will do the time zone conversion for you. So every time a client fixes a meeting, even though I've been working with overseas clients for 11 years, even today, whenever a client gives me a time, I write down the time, I write down the time zone, and I immediately convert it to the Indian time zone every time, so that I am never late and I don't miss anything. Okay. And sometimes I'll tell you something, you'll be working with two, three clients who are all in different time zones, and things can get a little crazy in your head. But hey, that's the price of doing work as a freelancer. You'll get used to it. Okay. It's confusing, but it's part of the trade. Okay. All right, Professor. That's all I want to tell about the time zone, guys. So that was the last thing today on the slide.